In this edition of the Parliament Report, Electoral Commission under fire for breaches, final deadline given for long-awaited Tivoli Report, and Education Ministry targets 100% mastery in literacy by 2015. After missing a number of deadlines, it appears the long-awaited Tivoli Report will be in the hands of lawmakers before year-end. Speaker of the House of Representatives Michael Peart told the Parliament Report that the Tivoli Report was completed but the document was being printed and collated. He gave the assurance that Public Defender Earl Witter would deliver on this final deadline. Witter had missed a number of deadlines for submitting the report to Parliament this year and vowed not to give any new targets at a press conference in late November. Peart did not disclose what action Parliament would take if the Public Defender did not deliver this time. The Jamaica Civil Society Coalition, led by Carol Narcisse, launched a petition online in the first week of December to drum up support as the group pressure legislators to ensure that the Office of the Public Defender deliver the report. The group is also asking Parliament to provide the requisite capacity for the Public Defender to complete and furnish, at a minimum, an interim report before January 31 next year. Narcisse told the Parliament Report that the petition has been gaining momentum with support from persons in the United Kingdom and the United States. The JCSC contended that the continuing lack of resolution surrounding the Tivoli incursion was a denial of justice. The group said this undermined the best interest of the affected families, communities, and the country. Members of the security forces entered a barricaded Tivoli Gardens in 2010 to serve an extradition warrant on then-fugitive Christopher Dudas Coke. At the end of a reported fierce gun battle with men loyal to Coke, 73 civilians were killed and a member of the army shot dead. The Public Defender had started his probe into the Tivoli killings more than 2 years ago. However, Witter said his investigations were hampered by a lack of resources. The government has indicated that it was awaiting the Public Defender's report to determine whether a commission of inquiry should be launched into the actions of the security forces. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, the ECJ, has been assessed and found wanting in a number of critical areas evaluated by the Auditor General's Department, the AGD. In an Information Systems Review report of the ECJ, the Pamela Monroe Ellis-led AGD painted the Commission as an entity that has made a habit of ignoring directives and regulations. The document was tabled in Parliament on December 4. Since its inception in December 1, 2006, the ECJ has not produced a set of audited financial statements. The AGD says the electoral body is required to produce these statements in accordance with Section 16 of the Electoral Commission Interim Act, the ECIA. The Auditor General says the absence of these statements prevented the Parliament from reviewing the Commission's financial performance to determine whether the ECJ's resources were applied for the purposes authorized by the ECIA or other relevant laws. The AGD also found that the ECJ ignored a directive of the Ministry of Finance to pay the Deputy Director of Elections at a certain level. According to the Auditor General, this resulted in an excess salary payment of $4.66 million to the Deputy Director of Elections for the period September 2010 to March 2012. The Expenditure Oversight Body says the Commission should take urgent steps to have these matters regularized. It says the electoral body should recover all excess payments and ensure that all future payments are made in accordance with the relevant guidelines. According to the Auditor General, failure to recover the additional amounts could lead to a possible surcharge against the responsible officials. And finally, in the Parliament Report, Education Minister Ronald Thwaites says the country is on track to achieve 100% mastery in literacy by 2015. He said the pattern of improvement of grade 4 literacy is on an upward trajectory from 2009 to 2012. Thwaites said the figure for 2012 for mastery at the first sitting in public schools was 72%. The Education Minister was providing an update on the grade 4 literacy test in Parliament. In his statement to the House of Representatives on December 4, Thwaites pointed out that about 15% of the grade 4 cohort suffered from various learning disorders. The disorders listed by Thwaites are mental retardation, dyslexia, or reading disability. dysgraphia or disability to express in writing, autism, and dyscalculia or mathematics disorder. Students who fail to achieve mastery of the grade 4 test after 4 attempts are placed in the Alternative Secondary Transformation Education Program A-STEP. Thwaites told colleague lawmakers that his ministry is currently reviewing A-STEP. He says many of the students that matriculate into that program have significant educational disabilities, and the interventions made so far have not been sufficient to deal with those challenges. That's how we bring the curtains down on another edition of the Parliament Report. Thanks for joining us. Until we present more highlights on some of the happenings in Gordon House, I'm Edmund Campbell saying, walk good.